Hi, it's JC at Motorcycle Superstore, and I have a new helmet from Leatt that is going to change the way people think about off-road helmet safety. This is the GPX 6.5 carbon helmet. They also make a 5.5, which is a little bit more affordable. It doesn't use this pure carbon fiber. However, what we're talking about here is Leatt's first foray into the off-road helmet segment. They obviously have lots of neck braces, armor for the body of all different varieties, but what this thing does is takes a very new look at the traditional helmet standpoint. So what you'll find on this is a very small and lightweight helmet. It looks almost like a mountain bike helmet in my opinion, and it feels like it as well. It's probably the lightest helmet I've ever felt. This is a size large. It weighs 2.6 pounds. It's ridiculously light. Now, the reason for that, they have shrunken the external diameter of this. They've also used some new foam materials on the inside, and you're going to find some additional safety features as well, which I'll touch on in just a second. Let's talk about the shell version. First off, this is the adult model. You're going to see it also in a youth version. This is the V01. The V02 is the youth model. There's no real big difference there. But what you'll notice on this is the carbon fiber layout. It's got a nice matte finish to it. This is actually made, the shell itself, in 3 different sizes. Now, the layer itself, or the outer shell itself, is all hand formed. It's not sprayed in. It's a big piece of carbon that's laid down by hand, and then they lay in the foam underneath that with a spray technique. Now, what you'll find here is the smaller diameters. They've compared this to 5 of the helmets that are on the market in this sort of price segment, and they compared it to that. According to Leatt, this is 14.6% smaller on average than those helmets. We held it up side by side to a Bell Moto 9, which I have sitting in the studio here, and you can definitely see that this thing is physically smaller. The reason for that: 1, it's lighter weight; 2, it's less volume or less area to potentially hit the ground and snag on things; and 3, according to Leatt's studies, every 10% reduction in overall diameter on the exterior equates to about 20 to 30% less rotational mass energy. So it's going to help keep you safer, it's going to be easier to wear, more comfortable, all of those things that you're looking for in a performance style helmet. This is a performance premium helmet. You're talking about $600 full retail. It's available, you got 2 colorways right now, this red, also a silver version, really slick looking in terms of the aesthetics. Now, in addition to the smaller diameter of this outer shell, you're going to find a ton of venting built into this. A ridiculous amount of venting. So you'll find these massive panels here, on this side as well. Now, if you go inside and pull the liner system out, these are massive chunks cut out of the V foam inside. It goes straight through, so it will be pumping the air in like nothing else. However, it does pass DOT and ECE safety regulations, part of which are a spike test, which drops straight onto these vents. So the honeycomb design you see on the exterior, it prevents that. It passes all those standards. It's going to be nice and safe for you while promoting tons and tons of airflow. Across the front, you see them on the brows, helps channel air in there. Also, the mouthpiece as well. You'll find them here up front and on the side of the chin bar additionally. So, some other things to notice on the external side of this before we go internal. Check out this little piece here on the left side. This is their Hydrate System. I love this. It's basically a race-ready system for your water bladder or your water hose that will route in from the side. Traditional systems, if you're into racing and hands-free, you have to route those along the external side. You drill a hole in the front of your helmet, it goes through there. It's not very slick. It works, but this is a way better system in my opinion. You press the hose through here, it lines up inside the channel on the internal side of the chin bar, and then of course there's a 90-degree bite valve that comes with it. That kit is sold separately, it doesn't come with the helmet, but it is available. So for racers, that thing is really impressive. You don't have to drill holes, you don't have to have this hanging around. When I have mine on the helmet that I run at home, it gets caught up in branches and sticks and stuff. So this is also a safety feature as well. Some other things to note on this are the profiles of the helmet. First off, right here along the back, this is obviously going to be designed to work with Leatt neck braces. Other neck braces of different brands as well, but you'll notice this curve right here. That allows for a lot of movement, the proper amount that you're going to need. You won't find it hindering your range of motion at all. So I really like to see that feature. All right, let's start talking about the visor as well, because this has some specific safety properties. It's obviously going to channel air. It's adjustable, 3-point mounting system. These are shear away. They're designed to break off. If you crash and your helmet or your visor snags on something, it delivers more torque and more force to your head and neck. So if it breaks away, you're going to be a lot safer. The cool thing about it is that once you shear those bolts off, how do you get them out? The spare bolts you get with this helmet actually have a little hex design down inside. The base of the bolt plugs right into that. You can extract it that way, put your new screws in, and you're off and running. It's really slick. Now, as we go to the inside, you'll notice first and foremost these red tabs. Those are emergency release cheek pads, and it is one of the nicest systems I've seen. All it does as you pull this down is it splits open the actual pad liner system and the foam itself comes out. You're not removing the entire cheek pad base plate. Now, it's so easy to do, you can do it with 2 fingers, very simple. A lot of the systems on the market that I've seen, you actually have to yank them pretty hard because they use some sort of a ramp system with the snaps. They're not very slick. This one is really impressive. I like to hear some feedback from customers on how well this stuff lasts over time, but really just looking at it, I'm impressed. Now, this is what they call their moisture cooled liner. It's extremely moisture wicking, it's easy to wash, all this stuff is removable as well, but underneath the liner system you're going to find their 360-degree turbine technology. This uses these small blue turbines. They're made from armor gel, which is a material that's also used in other products on the safety lineup like elbow pads, etc. But what these things do, everybody knows about the modern technology or the new techniques to absorb rotational energies. We don't just smack our head in a direct line. So as we're twisting, those energies can cause a lot of damage. And what these turbines do is they're designed to act in a couple different properties. First off, they squish, so they're absorptive. They're going to take away the concussion possibilities, or reduce that rather. They're also going to deflect and smush one way or the other. They can move in any direction essentially. So what that does, it gives you that shift. It absorbs the energy on those rotational crashes. So basically it slows that acceleration point down. Now, more safety that's been built into this is in the foam system underneath. Typically, we're talking about standard EPS liners. This is what they call V-foam. Here you can see exactly why they call it that, pretty obvious. But basically, what they do is they spray the liner system in. First, the first liner, which is a certain type of density, then they press a mold into it to give it this V shape, and they spray it with a secondary liner with a different density. So what this does is it allows it to be very small, very thin, so it also helps keep the overall size of the helmet down. It does have a lot of channels built into it to help promote the airflow, and it is eject ready, so you'll find that little square cut out in the top. You can easily slap one of those in if you're going to be racing at those higher levels. Check this thing out online. So much to cover, I kind of hit it very quickly, but it is a very impressive helmet. It's small, it's light, it promises to breathe like nothing else. I really want to hear your feedback on it, so leave me those comments below in this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well for more product videos.